Hey, today I want to go over a couple tokens. Um, in fact, these two tokens are pretty much the reason that I started this channel or using this channel. Um, because I have tried to look into them. Um, I mean, I am invested in both of them, but in trying to research them, I couldn't find anything. I mean, oddly, nothing. And I went to all YouTubers that I watch that that I like, and didn't get much of anything from anybody. I mean, I'll call them out, man. I mean, I went to Crypto Zombie, I went to Bitcoin Chris, um, Crypto Candor, I think Lark, Crypto Love, uh, Keith Waring, just everybody, and I didn't get like anything. Everyone, they would just like ignore when I would ask, which I don't fault them. I mean, I don't. It doesn't change the way I feel about them. I really, love all their channels. Um, but the only person that looked into it was Crypto Bitcoin Chris, and he basically said, "Yeah, that's really weird. I can't find anything on them either. Pretty strange." And that was the end of it. Um, and it's not that weird because you can't find much on it. But I couldn't find anything. But what the weird thing is the quality of them and what's involved with it all. I mean, I'll go over all that, and then you just see how strange it is, how it doesn't make any sense that it's not one of the that these two things aren't two of the most talked about tokens that there are. Uh, Candor, the only person she was. I mean, and I asked, I sent messages, I asked when there was live chats. Candor's the only one she said, "Oh, Oceanchain, never heard of that." But that's one good thing about these live chats. All these comments are saved. I'm gonna go back and look at that. That sounds interesting. Nothing. So, but it's kind of a good thing because I really enjoyed, uh, researching it and going over coins. I'm not gonna go over a lot of the stuff people go over on my channel. It's gonna be stuff like like this that's people don't talk about or it's hard to find. And a lot of people make the excuse, which I mean it does sound legitimate. There's just so many coins out there. It's hard to research and go over all these. That would make sense if you didn't talk about ontology and neo in 6 out of your 7 videos a week. Everybody just rehashes the same thing. Nobody really researches and looks out and is looking out for things that are going under the radar. That's why they consider or continuously go under the radar. Um, but these two projects are more under the radar than most, and there's no reason I can see. There's nothing that makes sense as to why they would be when you hear about the people involved and what they're doing. Um, they're also oddly connected with each other. Uh, which let me just start by going over everything. First, we will go over Oceanchain. So many tokens, so many coins, so stupid. A lot of them are for ridiculous things that make no sense. There's things that there's no reason to have a blockchain. That's one, buzz question. Why is this need to be on the blockchain? What reason is there? And a lot of them there's none. It's just a way to make money. And there's so many ICOs and so many coins that are just started to make money. And they make hundreds of millions of dollars for nothing. There's also so many projects that I've put money into myself that are not doing anything. I can't tell you for months now how I've wanted to bank the unbanked and put into so many different projects, but no one's banking the unbanked except for David Hay, who doesn't have a coin or an ICO. He just has some money and he went down to Colombia. I asked him, I messaged him, why aren't you trying to hook up with all of these companies that were supposed to do this? That's what their goal was. Why aren't they jumping on this and getting in line to do it? It frustrates me. Now here you have two projects that have real world use case, massive use case, massive appeal, massive room for financial gains. Um, Not to tell you that this is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but I saw the value in it. I put into it. I looked into this months ago. Um, but there are a lot of really weird things. First, Oceanchain. What they want to do is connect everything with maritime, basically with fishing. I think with shipping, but they're mainly focused on a maritime fishery, which and it's a huge ecosystem. It's not just one little thing. It's like Tron wants to create the new internet. It's so what they're doing here is so huge, but it's not like for the whole world. It's everything to this one section of commerce, but it's everything to that section of commerce. Um, Oceanchain is a blockchain technology for the maritime economy with the goal of combining decentralization, international collaboration, and human consensus to find new solutions to existing problems. Oceanchain will utilize the dynamics of tokens and private funding to modernize the international maritime industry and advance development of oceanic technologies. Okay, now here's something that you need to remember. Oceanchain is supported by a number of Asia's largest satellite and blockchain companies, with Oceanchain being based on the Qtum blockchain platform. Also, anytime any new platform puts out a coin, it's huge. No one talked about this. It was one of the first coins to come out on the Qtum chain. Nothing. Neo puts out a coin. Oh, it's huge. I don't even remember what the coin was. Nobody really probably does. They released on the Ripple blockchain. They freaked out. We didn't really build that to do this, but I guess it's an open source blockchain, so you can do that. But just the fact that it was released on that. This, nothing. Another weird thing, I got the Hyper Wallet. I got airdropped 200 Oceanchain. Just out of the blue. Um, Now, they want to connect all the fishing vessels, all the employees with satellites, but also, like I said, it's everything. It is financial, clothing, support, sales, uh, entertainment, medical, insurance, um, weather tracking. You look at things like Origin Trail and those kind of projects. They're looking at a lot more land-based stuff. Your milk from the cow to your table. You can track it back. Where it went, what the temperatures were. If there's a problem along the chain, you know where it happened. Not a lot for maybe when the fish get to port, but you don't know how long the fish have been out at sea. Any of that stuff with any of those chains. This is really utilizing that too. Every step. Um, it has three features: multi-system linkage, node tracking, and ecological token. Um, It has improved calculating the efficiency of products and values, focuses on transporting current marine transaction. Circulation mode has lowered the risks of fund circulation for maritime fishery employees, products, and values. Basically, like I said, it wants to connect everything. Um, before I go into the team, um, they didn't have there was nothing on YouTube about them. Now they do have a channel with like 100 views, but there's a little video that explains a little bit of what they do, which is just like I said, they want to integrate every single aspect of life, whether and it's for the company, it's for the distributors, um, it's for the captains, it's for the ships, it's also for the fishermen, employees, everybody. It's like as soon as you get a job in the maritime fishing market, you get hooked into to Oceanchain, and that's it. That's your app. You can order food, you can order clothes, you can order supplies that you need. Um, Boats don't have to go back into port if they're running low on certain things. There's delivery systems where they will bring the stuff out to the boat, and they can just order it right there on the app. It's all under one ecosystem. Um, Now the team, which look at how this website is set up first. You got this guy here, and then another thing with a lot of teams, it's all broad. They don't go into specifics. They're like, this guy knows a lot about this and he's done a lot in this industry, but there's never specifics. Um, as co-founder of Oceanchain, he has a Bachelor of Management Studies from Stanford College in Singapore. He's the president of Indonesia Marine Fisheries Association, president PT of Sekarwanum TBK as of June 17. The sales were 92.7 billion rupees, which is like 7 million bucks, an increase of 32% from the 74 billion in the same period, and estimated that they're going to grow 30%. So Rockstar in business and in the marine industry, also current Rockstar, and ties to that industry right now. Luis is from Ecuador after graduating from the University of the Americas in Ecuador and Peking University. He is now a professional IP lawyer. He's held the presidency of the Latin American Student Association, blah, blah, blah. An advisor to the Mexican Chamber of Commerce in China. That's interesting. I didn't read that before. So, lawyer, specifically in technology and IP. Never seen that in a team. Pretty cool. William Elliott, former area and regional chairman for the UK Conservative Party Future. Governor of Toronto and Penwith College, current branch chairman of the UK Conservative Party Future, current Penzance Town Councillor for Penzance Town Council, has a bachelor's degree from Falmouth University. So, politician, current politician, never seen that before in a team. I've seen techs, I've seen investors, I've seen all this. I've never seen a politician, current politician, with current ties to the government on a team. Founder of Ostrich Venture Media, chairman. I think these are just advisors. The other ones are the team. CEO founder, serial entrepreneur with years of payment systems, blockchain technology. He's been engaged in blockchain technology for years, has developed cross-border trading applications based on Ripple. In addition, involved in Master Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Lisk. So you got a rock star with blockchain. You have legal, you have political, and you have the industry itself. Founder of the Australian Bank Capital, famous investor in blockchain industry. Member of the Bitcoin Development Foundation, member of the Asian Dhaka Blockchain Association, member of the China Bitcoin Roundtable Forum. Founder of the Bytum blockchain. Former senior engineer of Bell Labs, Lucent Technologies, former vice president and chief researcher of OKCoin, the largest Bitcoin exchange worldwide. He is the CEO of 8BTC and the winner of the Gates Foundation Scholarship. So, well, pretty much all rock stars there. All these different, but they're all not the same. It's like they have really good people in all these different areas. This guy's has entertainment connections. This guy has government connections. This guy is legal. This guy is directly with the Maritime Society. Very, very, very strange. And they're on the Qtum network. Um, Go over some of the white paper stuff. You could tell they have a really big lawyer on the team. The first inch and a half of this white paper is very, very legal. Let me just read through this real quick, trying to hit on the main things. With the booming development of the global economy, all coastal countries take development of the maritime economy as one of their national strategic goals. This allows them to effectively enjoy the full economic benefits of the oceans and seas can provide. As the number one industry in the marine economy, marine fishery has a considerable amount of influence in the lives and livelihood of marine fishery practitioners. That just sounds weird. And other coastal residents. Consequently, it plays a pivotal role in maritime industry of coastal countries. Now, these are just some numbers that give you an idea of what kind of money you're talking about. Aquatic products are one of the largest classification of commodities in the global food trade. For many countries, export aquatic products is their economic lifeline. It can account for more than 40% of total merchandise trade value in certain Pacific Island countries and accounts for 9% of global exports of agricultural products, 1% of the world's total merchandise trade value. 2016 total export value of aquatic products in developing countries was 80 billion US dollars. Net foreign exchange earned from the export of aquatic products reached 42 billion US. Therefore, the deep sea fishing and high sea agriculture industry worldwide is a huge market with many untapped opportunities. At present, the total annual output of the fishery and aquaculture industry is about 100 million, which 81.5 million tons come from the sea among 18 countries. China contributes about 60%. So it's pretty huge, which, I mean, you had to know that, but I didn't know it was that huge. The fishery industry and primary sectors of the aquatic industry employ a total of 56 million people. That is a lot, which 84% are from Asia. Of the 18 million people engaged in aquaculture activities, 94% are from Asia. Now, that 18 million is I think the back end of it. Total number of global fishing vessels has reached about 4.6 million. Total number 4.6 million. There are 3.5 million fishing vessels in Asia. For about 75% of global fishing vessels, among them 64% are motorized vessels, and 64,000 are like big ocean going fishing vessels over 24 meters. So huge customer base with all those employees. Like I said, it's going to be their main ecosystem that they're going to use for everything. At present, there are 3.5 million fishing vessels in the Asia Pacific region, which about 3.3 million are offshore fishing vessels, blah, blah, blah. Now, this is something that I wanted to go over. Offshore fishing vessels' annual satellite communications cost for each offshore fishing vessel is about $1,600. And the cost of a satellite and maritime communications for each ocean fishing vessel is about $7,000 per year. It is predicted that the market size of satellite communications for offshore fishing vessels in the Asia-Pacific region will grow around $5.5 billion, and deep sea fishery satellite communications will reach about 450 million US dollars. Okay. And then the transaction volume and all that. This, I'm trying to really get across the scope of this. It's a huge industry, and they want to be basically connected to everything. If someone gets hurt, they don't have to go into port. They automatically connected through the satellite system to all the other fishing vessels to know which one has a doctor, where they can get their person to quickest. Like I said, if they need to order something, they don't have to go into port for this one thing, maybe for a part or something like that. They can order it right from their app. They have satellite TV on there. They have live entertainment. It's just mind blowing the amount of stuff. Also, current prices that are like real time, which would be huge for smaller independents. Like let's say you went out, you own 3 boats. Say you're Tom Hanks, you're Bubba Gump. You got your haul, you got your 2 or 3 ships. You're going into your port to sell your loads, and you can check the price, and you find out in Shreveport, 30 miles down coast, it's paying 20% more. You go down there, you've just increased your overall bottom line by 20% just because of that. Massive potential, massive real use case. Nobody talks about it. Coins at, I think it's 1/4 of a penny, or about half a cent. Blows my mind. They now have Instagram. They do now have a YouTube, like I said. They have a Facebook, but there's like literally, they don't even have a Twitter. But there's not much volume or stuff going through them. Now, months ago, I stumbled across this Oceanchain by accident, and I clicked on this YouTube link. They didn't have a YouTube. They have one now, and they have 2 videos. I can find one video before, all in a different language. Now they have this, which has 154 views. This is just music. There's not even anybody talking. They have 13 subscribers. One of them is me. Doesn't make sense. But when I clicked on that link before, it did not take me to that page because it did not exist. Like I said, I found this months ago, and this YouTube channel was created a month ago. It has not been around for very long at all. When I clicked on that before, it took me to a video for Spacechain. Which we'll go over next. Took me to this video. It wasn't like a professional video. It was some dude talking in front of a PowerPoint for like 5 minutes. Talking about Spacechain. We had this idea back in 2010 to put the blockchain into outer space to connect satellites. And he starts going into all the tech, like briefly, for like 5 or 6 minutes, and then that's it. And then there's one other video where it's the like the head, the the vice president, and then this other guy, um, and he's explaining the tech, blah blah, and he just casually mentions that he was one of the original developers of Bitcoin and worked with Satoshi directly on making Bitcoin. And now I realize who he is, and it's insane that he's involved in this project, the stuff that the project does, not is gonna do. I didn't. I mean, it's impressive what it's gonna do. That it's already done, but it is not talked about at all. Nobody really talks about it. I've asked once again, what about Oceanchain, Spacechain? Y'all heard of that? Hey, maybe you guys can look into Oceanchain, Spacechain, find out what's going on. Why isn't anybody talking about it? I can't find anything on it. There's starting to be a little bit of information out on there now, but still not much. That's one of the reasons why I'm doing this, and I'm going to send links to everyone that I asked about it before to look into it. Nobody did, except for Crypto Bitcoin Chris, who did look into it, but then just kind of gave up because he said there's nothing there. Um, I'll go into it's not a lot. I mean, there's not a lot to really go over. It's just a lot of insane, crazy, cool stuff. Um, Spacechain is a space. I mean, it sounds crazy when I go over what it does and what it's going to do. Like it's not possible, but it is. It's so it's just crazy that it's not being reported about on everything. By all the news media in our space, there should be tons of articles. People should be reporting on this instead of the goofy crap that they report on. Um, but they don't, and I don't understand why. It doesn't make sense. It is it a conspiracy? I don't know. But not a lot of the things make sense that these two projects, which are oddly connected, I think they are, things they look like they are to me. They don't ever come out and say it, but I'll go over it. Um, Spacechain is a space exploration initiative based on human consensus and striving to seek the consensus which can effectively encourage human beings to spontaneously engage in outer space activities. Spacechain intends to find this consensus by achieving the following three goals: make space serve our Earth better, make the space industry more accessible for normal people, make space exploration sustainable, and extend knowledge of space constantly. Those three things are kind of crazy to just put out there. Um, but that's what they're going to do. Spacechain is actively building the world's first open source satellite network. Not going to build it, not thinking about build it, not wrote a white paper to do it. Spacechain is actively building the world's first open source satellite network to enable a next generation infrastructure for blockchain industry. This non-terrestrial decentralized satellite network will become an alternative for data transmission, storage, and application development. The Spacechain open source operating system, Spacechain OS, which provides a blockchain sandbox that any developer can utilize for rapid development, testing, and deployment of dApps. Now, y'all have to understand, this has been around for months. No one's talking about it, but the fact that it's only been around for months, I'm not telling you that these are the goals. They're not going to develop this Spacechain operating system. It is already developed, has already been tested in space, and has flight capability and been proven. But we're going to hear news about the fact that the owner of Binance wore a suit jacket and shorts when he went to Jamaica. That was the big story for like 3 days, and how he gave no fucks. but this nobody talks about. Okay. Um, Now it is so science fiction technical, but by the same token, it's so simple. Pun intended with the token thing. Okay, so and I literally there's two videos which you can look up. They're like 5 minutes, 6 minutes each, and they go through so much. So normally and before, if a company wants to utilize satellite technology, they have to buy a satellite or make a satellite, and that's obviously very expensive. They have to pay to put that satellite up in space, which can cost the same or more than the satellite. Then they have one satellite they can use. If they need multiple satellites, they have to have that they have to be able to do that process as many times as satellites that they need. Um, Now they came up with this, like I said, in 2010. He conceived of the blockchain in space, and the idea is to create like a sandbox, like a smartphone. Basically, it's based on a lot of smartphone technology. Um, because it's like a smartphone that the developers don't have to make an operating system and a satellite. They can make a DApp which will run on an existing satellite. With the blockchain, it can connect to multiple satellites. So instead of buying and or building a satellite and putting it into space, all you have to do is develop an app on this blockchain, and you can utilize every satellite in the network. Exact words of the developer was, it's going to make it go from, you know, the hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars down to a couple bucks. A couple bucks is what he said to be able to utilize the satellite. Also, everything based on Oceanchain, their whole structure is based on massive satellite infrastructure, which would go along with this. There's no way they could put all that together. Um, and he talked about how basically this level of access and technology isn't available to, because of the cost, to anyone except for governments. And now it is going to be taking it out of the reach of just governments and putting it into pretty much anyone's hands that could write and develop a DApp that can go on it. And just like on a cell phone, you have 20 different apps on there. They don't interact with each other. And with a blockchain, it's secure because everything's separated. Um, Also, like your one app, it can't access your photos, can't access your camera without you giving it access to it. And of course, because of the blockchain, it's even more secure. But that's the basic gist of how it works. How it opens up all of that because of what it's built on. Um, so you could literally have access to 10 different satellites just by developing your DApp. All right. Um, Gonna bring blockchain applications to space. Let me see. I know I should have. My glasses are really bad. It's hard to read. I think it just goes over the sandbox. The ecosystems combined Spacechain OS are fundamentals of the Qtum smart contract. So this is built on Qtum, just like Oceanchain. Our CTO Jeff Garzek designed the blockchain sandbox to create a stable and well-protected infrastructure. dApps developed in the space can run properly and independently without interference from one another. Like I said, it's like on your phone. Um, this has garnered significant interest from partners in different industries who desire to build their applications on this platform. Ultimately, we can help the space industry go through the same process as the mobile phone industry, making smart satellites with these three benefits. Bring blockchain applications to space, enlarge the space market, and integrate aerospace industry with resources to make space better serve the Earth. Improve spacecraft capabilities, increase the number of applications per spacecraft, lower the cost of using satellites, and thus allowing more people to get involved in the space industry. Provide excellent development environment for space applications by lowering the barriers for developers and hence encourage more people to participate in space exploration. Probably could have just read that stuff rather than go over it all earlier, but whatever. Now you heard me say it and I read it. Now the team. Oh, look. This works just like the other website. Just like Oceanchain. Co-founder and CEO of Spacechain, he is an early adopter in Bitcoin and blockchain with a strong belief that the combination of space and blockchain technology will broaden the frontier of the future economy and make seamless global collaboration possible. Went to Columbia, blah, blah, blah. Smart guy. Next, now I know who this guy is, but I was pretty new when I first heard about this. Key Bitcoin core developer who worked directly under Satoshi Nakamoto for 2 years. Key Bitcoin core developer who worked directly under Satoshi Nakamoto for 2 years. His work can be found in every Bitcoin and miner. But if John McAfee takes a big shit, let's write 4 or 5 articles about it and have everybody talking about it because he tweeted about his big shit. I like John McAfee a lot. I think he's cool. But still, he could literally tweet something stupid and get 1,000 times more publicity, more mentions than I've ever heard about Spacechain. He is a key Linux kernel engineer. He worked on Linux for like 15 or 20 on the Linux Foundation. He's on the Linux Foundation board of directors and worked directly under Linus Torvalds for 15 years. His code can be found in every Android phone and every data center. Just these statements are like so profound. His code can be found in every Android phone and every data center. He is also the leader of the Ethernet network subsystem and co-founder and CEO of Block. Now, I came from the financial services industry, so Tim frickin' Draper, co-founder of the DFJ Venture Capital, renowned VC capitalist from Silicon Valley. He's invested in numerous popular companies, including SpaceX, Tesla, so on and so forth. It's Tim Draper. Hotmail, Skype, he's a big venture capitalist. CEO of NanoRacks from 2009. Member has steered the growth of the first company to own and market its own hardware and services on the board of International Space Station. On the board of the International Space Station. Member has been involved in several key breakthrough commercial space projects, principally those around the commercialization of the space assets, as well as the integration of the Russian space industry into a major space program. So, another huge rock star. Co-founder and chairman of Block. Testified before U.S. Congress, blah, blah. It's really ridiculous. The team. It's ridiculous. Who's this guy? The founder and CEO of China's largest blockchain open source platform, Qtum, Quantum Chain. So the CEO and founder of Qtum is part of this, and Oceanchain is on Qtum with Spacechain. Very interesting. It's valued at $1 billion, already attracting hundreds of developers around the world since 2012. Patrick's been engaging in encryption and research and development in its underlying technologies, and actively promoting a blockchain technology, as well as application. He studied at the Chinese Academy of Sciences and worked at Alibaba. He is 2017 Forbes 30 under 30 and a Draper University alumni. So, Draper University alumni, Tim Draper, Quantum, Oceanchain, Quantum, hooked on satellites, creating a satellite network. It's obvious that they're connected. Once again, like I said, you don't hear anything. Literally, there should be something constantly talked about because with these, at least Spacechain. Oceanchain should be out there. It should have been out there for months. It has, like, you can find something now. I can't explain how little there was before. I mean, you could Google Oceanchain and you would get nothing. There was one video, and it was just some kind of, Asian words with an ocean background. There was nothing. It's a well-known Chinese venture capitalist who has extensive experience in financial technology. Ryan was a co-founder of Blockchain Global, a blockchain-focused enterprise that provides cloud data services and incubates blockchain startups. He is co-founder of ACX, an Australian-based digital currency exchange, and was named one of blockchain leads in 2016. So he's a financial guy, but so like I said, insane team, insane project. Both of them awesome. One of them real use case, worldwide technology. The other one not just worldwide, but bigger. Jeff said that, like I said, he wants to put this will put space exploration and satellite usage into the hands of pretty much everyone. Take it out of it just being available to governments. And what it's called is a multi-tenant satellite system, because there's so many tenants, or basically so many people able to use a single satellite because of the DAP system. Now, like I said, everything that they're talking about, they are doing. This isn't gonna do. They have, in their exact words, they have satellites in orbit now that are running it. They have space flight tested the Spacechain operating system with success. That is huge. And I only know that because the people that made it said so. It wasn't reported anywhere. It's on a 5-minute video from a month or two ago. Once again, it's on the Qtum network. President Qtum is part of it. Most of the news you see on it is just from like Spaceflight Insider and stuff like just space type news. Um, for some reason, that community seems to be backing it when the crypto and blockchain community is not. It's just a little frustrating, like I had said. Um, you know, like I said, John McAfee could literally take a dump and tweet about it, and there'd be several articles written about it, several people making videos about it. The McAfee shit. Um, which I love John McAfee very much. He's awesome. Um, the Charlie Sheen of the space, man. But it's just ridiculous. Um, I actually stopped this and because I had an idea. This is total crypto conspiracy thing. But with these old school Bitcoin developers and Bitcoin evangelists, I thought about Richard Hart and his secret coin that he's making right now. And the only thing I've heard about it is that it's, really to benefit mankind and blah, blah, blah. So I did some research on it. And if it was on the Qtum network, that would be it. I'd be, totally convinced. But it's an ERC-223, which is new. It's going to kind of replace the ERC-20. It looks like it's like the next level. But it's fluid dynamics, which from what I've looked into has to do a lot with space travel, rocket ships. There's also stuff on nautical design, which is, there's other things like nuclear fission and uh, and some other things, but it kind of goes along with this too. So that it, it's a little, I don't know. It just kind of struck me as odd. Um, but this is one of the reasons why I started this channel is because of this kind of stuff. I'm not going to do a lot of the videos that you see out there that are kind of the same things just rehashed by everybody. I'm going to do stuff on ICOs and and coins and tokens that are kind of under the radar so that they're not so under the radar stuff I think is interesting. And also to kind of just chronicle my journey through crypto, which I started last year, probably December, November. So I got in right, before the giant wave up. So I thought, oh, this is easy. This is unbelievable. I'm going to make $1 million this year. And then sat through the whole crash. So, but I'm really, really excited about it. I think it's, going to change the world, all that kind of stuff. Um, but like I said, I'm gonna focus more on just things that I think are interesting, um, that nobody really talks about that I think are cool. If there's anything you guys want to hear or you want me to look at, just send me a message or hit me with a comment. I'd appreciate the some likes and click to subscribe. That'd be cool. Um, a lot of people say it's not really just about making money. They're really interested in the technology. I'm more interested in the technology. I think the technology is cool. I think it's bullshit because if that was true, these things would have been out there. People would have gone over it because this is about as the technology as you can get, um, and no one talked about it. Uh, they do have a Telegram, their LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter. Their Twitter has like 2 or 3 thousand people, not a lot for, like I said, the quality and what it's about. Um, 2,800, and I actually talked to them a couple of weeks ago. There was someone that was impersonating him, and I thought, obviously this person is impersonating. They want to like send us half an ETH and we'll send you 5. But they liked the post, so I messaged them. I was like, "Hey, is this real?" And they said, "Oh no, that's fake. It's that's somebody trying to scam." And then I said, "Yeah, but you liked it," and they kind of freaked out. They're like, "Oh man, we didn't really look at it. We just saw someone tweeted about us and we liked it." So they're so ready for people to support them that they are just liking anything anyone tweets. Um, Kind of goofy, but if y'all, like I said, if you want to hear anything, or you want me to go over anything, just hit me up or leave a comment. Appreciate the likes and the subscriptions. Hit the bell. Y'all take care.